He was told this moment would never happen. Doctors said it. Specialists confirmed it. Money couldn't change it. His son was born deaf and would never respond to sound. But that night, inside his silent mansion, something impossible happened. A maid stepped forward. She lifted her hands, and in front of everyone, the boy turned his head. Not by accident, not by chance. The billionaire felt his heart stop. Whatever the maid just did reached his son in a way millions of dollars never could. And what she did next changed their lives forever. Ethan Blackwood stood frozen in his living room, his pulse hammering in his ears. Around him, doctors and therapists whispered nervously, unsure what they had just witnessed. His 3-year-old son, Noah, sat on the carpet, his head turned toward the maid who had just spoken without making a sound. For the first time since he was born, he had reacted. Ethan's entire world was built on certainty. He was a billionaire tech investor who believed every problem had a solution if you just threw enough money at it. But his son was different. No amount of money could fix the silence that wrapped his son's life like a wall. The maid's name was Sophia. She'd worked quietly in the mansion for nearly a year, staying invisible. Ethan barely even knew her name. Until this moment. "What did you just do?" Ethan asked, his voice unsteady. Sophia lowered her hands slowly, her eyes filled with fear. "I'm sorry, sir. I didn't mean to interfere." But Ethan stepped closer, his eyes never leaving his son. "Do it again." Sophia hesitated. Every instinct told her she had crossed a line, but she knelt in front of Noah again and raised her hands. She signed gently. Noah's fingers twitched. His eyes followed her movements. And then, slowly, he smiled. A soundless gasp rippled through the room. Ethan dropped to his knees. "What is that?" he whispered. Sophia's voice shook. "Sign language, sir. My mother was deaf. I learned it before I learned to speak." Silence filled the room, but this time it wasn't empty. It was full of possibility. For years, Ethan had watched his son drift further away, locked behind a barrier no one could reach. And now, the person who had unlocked the door wasn't a world-famous doctor, but the woman who cleaned his floors. The therapists stared. The doctors exchanged stunned looks. "You're saying he understands?" one of them asked. "Sophia nodded. He's been watching me for months. Children notice more than we think." Ethan turned to Noah, tears blurring his vision. He lifted his hands awkwardly, trying to copy Sophia's signs. Noah laughed. It was a silent laugh, but it was real. And in that moment, the billionaire realized something devastating. He had been rich, but blind. Over the next weeks, everything changed. Ethan hired the best sign language specialists in the country, but insisted Sophia stay, not as a maid. As Noah's primary communication guide, she resisted at first. "Sir, I don't belong here." Ethan looked at her and said quietly, "You belong where miracles happen." Noah began to flourish. His frustration faded. His tantrums stopped. For the first time, Ethan felt like he was truly meeting his own son. One night, as Christmas lights glowed through the mansion windows, Ethan watched Noah sign the word love to Sophia. His chest ached with emotion. "How much do I owe you?" Ethan asked softly. Sophia shook her head. "Nothing. He deserves a voice." Ethan swallowed hard. "No," he said. "You deserve the world." That Christmas, Ethan announced the creation of a foundation for deaf children, fully funded, fully staffed, and led by the one woman who had taught him that money doesn't heal everything, but kindness does. Sophia cried, not because she was suddenly rich, but because she had finally been seen. Years later, Ethan would tell this story at conferences and charity events, and every time, he would say the same thing. My son didn't need sound. He needed someone who understood silence. And sometimes, the greatest miracles don't come from power or wealth, they come from the people we almost never notice. If this story touched your heart, please like the video, subscribe, and comment with your city. It helps stories like this reach the people who need them most. And remember, never underestimate the quiet ones.